Jai Hind students, I am Neetu Singh from Government High School Bhojla, Jhansi.
Welcome all the students of class 10 in English online class. Students, how are you all? I hope you all are benefiting by these virtual classes. So students, today I am going to teach you second chapter from English Supplementary Reader, and the lesson name is The Judgment Seat of Vikramaditya, written by Sister Nivedita. Here I will teach you this lesson in two parts, and today I am going to teach you the first part of the lesson. Students, as it is clear by the name of the lesson that this lesson it is a story about the seat, the royal seat of the famous King Vikramaditya. But before teaching you the lesson, I want to tell you something about the writer of the lesson. Sister Nivedita. This is a picture of Sister Nivedita. Sister Nivedita, her original name Margaret Elizabeth Noble, was an Irish teacher, author, social activist, school founder and disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Disciple means student or a follower of Swami Vivekananda. She spent her childhood and early youth in Ireland. From her father, a college professor, she learned the ideal of service to mankind as the true service to God. Sister Nivedita met Swami Vivekananda in 1895 in London and traveled to Calcutta, India. Now present we say it Kolkata. In 1898, Swami Vivekananda gave her the name Nivedita. Its meaning is dedicated to God. This story is a legend about the famous king Vikramaditya, and he is called the greatest judge in Indian history.
Before reading the chapter, just have a look at the most important characters of the chapter. The first and the foremost important character is Vikramaditya, the king of Ujjain, famous for his justice and learning. The other important character is cowherd boy, a boy among the other cowherd boys who used to sit on the mound and delivered perfect justice. The third important character is the king of Ujjain, the man who wanted to be just as Vikramaditya and ordered his men to dig deep for the seat of Vikramaditya. And angels, 25 angels who supported the seat of Vikramaditya.
Students, I want to share a very interesting fact with you about the calendars which are followed by the Indians. The first one is Vikram Sambat, second one is Shak Sambat, third one is Hijri calendar, which are mostly followed by the Muslims, and the fourth one is Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar. Mostly we use Gregorian calendar, or you may say it English calendar. According to Gregorian calendar, it is year 2020, and according to Vikram Sambat, it is 2077. The first month of Gregorian calendar is January, and according to Vikram Sambat, the first month is Vaishakh. And here is 50 year or half century difference between the Gregorian calendar or the Vikram Sambat. Here it is the Vikram Sambat started in 57 BC before Christ, half a century before Gregorian calendar. Now I am going to teach you lesson parawise, and this is para 1.
Paragraph 1. We are all familiar with the name of Vikramaditya. His reign has been a landmark in the history of our country. The Vikram Sambat owes its origin to him. Although his name is so famous, it is strange that we hardly know anything definite about his life. Students, this is the introductory para about the famous king of India named King Vikramaditya. We all know his name very well. He has been a famous ruler also, and his empire has been a turning point in Indian history. The Vikram Sambat is also named after him. Here is a contradiction that King Vikramaditya is still so famous, but we know very few or certain things about him or about his life. There is one thing certain about him, however, he loved justice and learning. He gave perfect justice to his people and gathered learned men about him in his court. It is said that he was the greatest judge in history. So, students, it is definite about him that he was a lover of justice and learning, and he gave perfect justice, the right judgment to the people of his empire, and he gathered scholars in his court. Here, the word greatest is a superlative degree and it is used for the outstanding quality of a noun. Here, it is showing the greatness of King Vikramaditya, that no other king of India was so great as Vikramaditya in the matter of justice.
The difficult word meaning of paragraph 1. Familiar. Familiar means well known. Reign. Reign means empire or rule. Landmark. Landmark means an event or development that marks a turning point or a stage. Origin. Origin, the beginning of something. Learn. Learn means educated, literate or the scholar.
Paragraph 2. Vikramaditya was never deceived, nor did he ever punish the wrong man. The guilty trembled when they came before him, for they knew that his eyes would look straight into their guilt, and those who came to him with difficult problems were always satisfied by the way he solved them. So, students, Vikramaditya was never deceived, means Vikramaditya was never cheated by anyone, nor did he ever punish the wrong man. He never punished any innocent person. The guilty started trembling for him because they knew that the eyes of Vikramaditya were so sharp that his eyes would look straight into their guilt. The people came to him with problems, he always satisfied them. And so in India, after him, whenever any judge pronounced his judgment with great skill, it was said of him, ah, he must have sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Has anyone ever seen the judgment seat of Vikramaditya? Perhaps not, because the seat does not exist anymore. I am going to tell you how it disappeared. So, after his death, whenever any judge gave his judgment with great ability, it was said about him that he must have sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Such was the magic of his wisdom. Here, a question is being asked, if anyone has ever seen the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Students, none has ever seen the judgment seat of Vikramaditya because the seat is not present. Exist means present. The seat is not present. Now, the writer is going to tell us how it disappeared from the earth forever.
Now, here is the difficult word meaning of paragraph 2. Deceived. Deceived means cheated. Guilty. The one who has done wrong. Trembled. Trembled, shivered. Guilt, wrongdoing. And disappeared, got out of the sight.
Paragraph 3. After the death of Vikramaditya, the people of Ujjain, in due course of time, forgot him. His palace and his fortress were ruined. The heaped up ruins, having been covered with grass, dust, and trees, were turned into a pasture for feeding the cattle. The blessed people used to send their cows out to these pastures to graze. So, after the death of King Vikramaditya, the people of Ujjain forgot him after some time. His palace and his fortress. Palace means a place where a king lives, and the fortress means fort, as Red Fort in Delhi. They were destroyed or completely damaged with the passage of time, and they means here palace and fortress were changed into grassland or meadow, turned into a pasture for feeding the cattle. Cattle mean a large group of animals. So now they have changed into meadow for grazing the cattle. And the blazers, they send their animal or cattle to graze in these pastures. early in the morning, the cattle would go in the care of the shepherd boys and would not return till late in the evening. When it was time to return, a shepherd boy would call out from the edge of the pasture, and all the cattle, along with their cowherds, would gather round him, and together they would turn homewards. So, students, here is the word shepherd. Shepherd means a person whose work is to take care of sheep and move them from one place to another. Like shepherd, here is also a word you will read in this lesson, cowherd. Cowherd means a person whose work is to take care of the cow. So here we are reading the daily routine of the shepherd boy of the blaze. How they spend their days with their cattle. So very early in the morning they left their homes with their cattle to the grassland where their animal could have grazed, and they returned to their homes when it became very dark.
Difficult word meaning of paragraph 3. Palace, place of living of kings. Ruined, destroyed. Pasture land, a place to graze for animals. Cattle, large group of animals. Graze, to eat grass that is growing in a field. Edge, the corner of anything.
Paragraph 4. Such was the life of the shepherd boys in the blaze about Ujjain. There were many of them, and in the long days on the pastures, they had plenty of time for fun. One day they found a playground, and how delightful it was! The ground under the tree was rough and uneven. Here and there, the ends of a great stone peeped out, and in the middle there was green mound which looked very much like a judge's seat. So here we are reading the lifestyle of the shepherd boys in the blaze. Thus they how they passed and how they were passing their lives or their days. There were many of blazers who had same lifestyle or routine, and they had a lot of time for enjoyment or play. One day they found a playground, and they exclaimed with wonder how delightful it was, that the playground was very beautiful for them. It was a large ground with many big trees, but the ground was not plain, it was uneven, and everywhere in the ground there were large stones lying here and there, and in the middle there was a green mound. Mound means raised or elevated ground, and the mound was looking like a judge's seat because it was raised a little high from the surface. At last, one of the boys thought so and seated himself on it. I say, boys, he cried, I will be the judge, and you can bring all your cases before me, and we will have trials. Then he straightened his face and became very grave to act the part of the judge. So, when all the boys saw the beautiful playground, they became very happy and started playing. But one of the boys among them thought something, and he cried that now they will play the role of the court and judge. And judge. And further he said that he would play the part of a judge, and other boys would bring cases before him, and he would try to solve them. Then the boy who declared himself a judge, he straightened his face and he became very grave. Grave means serious, to act the part of a judge. Here is the difficult word meaning from para 4. Plenty. Plenty means having enough. Delightful. Delightful means enjoyable or joyful. Rough and uneven. Having no plain surface. Mound. Mound means a large pile of earth or stones, a small hill. Grave. Grave means serious. Paragraph 5. Others saw the fun at once and, whispering among themselves, quickly picked up some quarrel and appeared before him. Each group stated their case, one saying that a certain field was theirs, another saying that it was not, and so on. They all wanted him to settle the disputes. So one boy among them declared himself a judge, and otherwise they whispered. Whispered means to say something very softly so that none can hear, and they appeared themselves before the boy who sat on the mound. Each group or each party had their problem, dispute to solve. But now, all of a sudden, a strange thing made itself felt. The boy, who appeared so common before he sat down on the mound, looked so different now. He had become grave and serious, and his tone and manners were so strange and impressive that the rest of the boys were a little frightened. Frightened means scared or afraid. Suddenly, a strange thing the Blaze boys felt about the cowherd boy. The cowherd boy, who was very simple before sitting on the mound, had totally changed now. He had become very serious. He was looking very different. He had become very serious, and his manners were impressive, like a judge. After seeing all this, the rest of the boys got scared. Still, they thought it was fun, and once again they put up a fresh case before him, and once more he gave his judgment, and this went on for hours and hours together. He sitting on the judge's seat, listening to complaints and pronouncing sentences with the same gravity till it was time to return, and then he jumped down from his place and was just like any other cowherd. So the Blaze boy thought it was fun to spend time like this. So again and again they appeared before the cowherd boy with new cases, and every time he solved them, and this continued till evening. The boy gave his judgment perfectly, and now it was time to return home. So he jumped from the mound, and now he was no more serious. He was as simple and common as other boys of his Blaze.
Here is difficult word meaning from para 5. Whispering, speaking very softly into somebody's ear so that other people cannot hear what you are saying. Appeared, came in front, quarreled, an angry argument or disagreement. Frightened, scared or afraid.
Students, here I am going to explain you that what types of questions are asked from supplementary reader in your exam. On question number 7, you will find 3 short questions and you have to try to solve any 2 which have 4 marks. On question number 8, you will find 4 true and false and you have to write true and false. And on question number 9, you will find 4 objective type questions. Every question has 4 options and you have to choose the most appropriate one, the most right one. And thus 12 marks questions are asked from supplementary reader.
Short answer type questions. The first question is, do we know anything definite about King Vikramaditya? Answer is, although the name of King Vikramaditya is very famous, yet we do not know anything definite or certain about him. But it is certain that he was a lover of justice and learning. The second question is, and it is a very important question, why did the guilty tremble before King Vikramaditya? The answer is, King Vikramaditya always gave perfect justice. The guilty trembled before King Vikramaditya because they knew that his eyes would look straight into their guilt and punish them. Question number 3. What happened to the palace and the fortress of King Vikramaditya after his death? Vikramaditya was the king of Ujjain. After his death, his palace and fortress were ruined with passage of time. The ruins were covered with dust, grass and trees and turned into a pasture land. Question number 4. What did the Blaze boys find in the pastures? The Blaze boys used to go to a nearby pasture with their cattle. They found a green mound just like a judgment seat in the middle of the pasture. Question number 5. What change did the Blaze boy notice in the boy who sat on the mound? The Blaze boys noticed that the boy who sat on the mound became serious and grave all of a sudden. His tone and manners were impressive like a judge. Question number 6. Why did the grown-up men and women put their disputes before the cowherd boy? How did the boy satisfy them? And the answer is, the grown-up men and women put their disputes before the cowherd boy for justice. The spirit of knowledge and justice would come to him. So he settled their disputes wisely and satisfied both the sides. Students, here are 10 true and false statements for you and you have to solve them. State whether the following statements are true or false. So now try to find it. Vikramaditya loved justice and learning. So as you know, Vikramaditya was a lover of justice and learning. So it is true. Second one is, King Vikramaditya did not love justice and learning. And this is the opposite of the first one. It is saying that the King Vikramaditya did not love justice and learning. It is false. Number 3, Vikramaditya was the king of Ujjain. Yes, we know it very well that he was the king of Ujjain. True. Number 4, Vikram Sambat owes its origin to Vikramaditya. Yes, true that the Vikram Sambat owes its origin to Vikramaditya. Number 5, the beautiful palace of Vikramaditya stands even today. Even today they are in Ujjain. No, false. It is false. Number 6, Vikramaditya was never deceived. True. Number 7, it is said that Vikramaditya was not the greatest judge in history. False, because it is said that Vikramaditya is the greatest judge in history even today. Number 8, the cowherd boy sat on the mound and became grave and serious. Yes, it is true that he became grave and serious after sitting on the mound. Number 9, the guilty trembled coming before him. Him means before King Vikramaditya. Yes, true. It is true. Number 10, Vikramaditya always punished innocents. Vikramaditya always punished innocents. False, because he never punished the innocent person. False. Select the most suitable alternative to complete each of the following statements. So students, here are 4 options of a question and you have to choose only one. So you may say the objective types question also and you will find 4 marks objective question in your exam paper. Here is the first one. Vikram Sambat owes its origin to. So you know the answer very well that the Vikram Sambat owes its origin to Vikramaditya. Number 2, Vikramaditya is famous for his wisdom, justice, honesty or love for his subject. Although all the 4 are suitable for Vikramaditya, but the most suitable answer is that Vikramaditya is famous for his justice. Number B. The shepherd boy sitting on the mount looked changed because he listened to the complaints. B. Was no ordinary boy. C. Got the spirit of knowledge and justice. D. Had to decide the disputes. So the most appropriate one is he got the spirit of knowledge and justice, so he looked changed. Number 4, the most important, the guilty trembled before King Vikramaditya because he was very cruel. No. He was unjust. No. He was intelligent enough to know their guilt. And the 4th one is he looked very fearful or the awful. No. He was intelligent enough to know their guilt. This is the answer. Students, today I have taught you the first part of this chapter, and in the next video I'll teach you the second part and the last part of this chapter, the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. So now I am going to end this part by the famous saying of Mahatma Gandhi: live as if you were to die today and learn as if you were to live forever. So students, thank you. Stay happy, stay healthy. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
प्रिय छात्रों, मैं डॉक्टर देवेंद्र पांडे, प्रवक्ता एचआरडी इंटर कॉलेज बिस्वा सीतापुर, आप सभी का रसायन विज्ञान की इस कक्षा में स्वागत करता हूं। हम लोग पिछले लेक्चर में फास्फोरस के यौगिक का अध्ययन कर रहे थे, जिसमें हम लोगों ने फास्फोरस ट्राइक्लोराइड का अध्ययन कर लिया था। आज के टर्न में हम लोग फास्फोरस पेंटाक्लोराइड से प्रारंभ करते हैं। सबसे पहले इसमें इसकी प्रिपरेशन देखते हैं। फास्फोरस ट्राइक्लोराइड से एक्सेस में अधिकता में क्लोरीन रिएक्शन करके फास्फोरस पेंटाक्लोराइड बनाता है। ये इसकी प्रयोगशाला विधि है। अगर हम और दूसरी विधि से भी बनाना चाहें तो फास्फोरस को क्लोरीन की अधिकता में रिएक्शन कराने पर फास्फोरस पेंटाक्लोराइड का फॉर्मेशन होता है। अब इसके गुण के ऊपर आते हैं। यह रंगहीन तीक्ष्ण रंग वाला ठोस पदार्थ होता है। अगर रखा रहता है और उसमें कुछ अशुद्धता होती है तो हल्का सा पीले रंग का दिखने लगता है। अब उसके कुछ रासायनिक गुणों के ऊपर आते हैं। फास्फोरस पेंटाक्लोराइड जल के साथ बहुत शीघ्रता से तीव्रता से रिएक्शन करता है और फास्फोरिल क्लोराइड HCl बनाता है। PCl5 प्लस H2O POCl3 प्लस HCl। अगर हम जल अधिकता में ले लेते हैं तो फास्फोरिल क्लोराइड की जगह पर फास्फोरिक एसिड का फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है। इसमें देख रहे हैं PCl5 प्लस 4H2O एक्सेस में अधिकता में लिया है। H3PO4 प्लस 5HCl। इसी प्रकार से अगर हम सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड से रिएक्शन कराते हैं तो इसमें आप देखेंगे कि सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड से PCl5 रिएक्शन करके सल्फ्यूरल क्लोराइड बनाता है। सल्फ्यूरल क्लोराइड, इसके विषय में एक थोड़ा सा आपको और जानकारी दे दें। जैसे सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड में इस तरीके से उसको लिख सकते हैं H2O को। यहाँ आप देखें इसमें 2 OH लगे हुए हैं। ये दोनों OH को PCl5 प्रतिस्थापित कर देता है। कल के टर्म में जब हम आपको PCl3 पढ़ा रहे थे उस समय मैंने आपको बताया था कि PCl3 और PCl5 दोनों ही OH, COOH से OH और फिनाल का OH, वो तीनों को Cl द्वारा प्रतिस्थापित कर देते हैं। इसी प्रकार से यहाँ पर सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड में आप देखें 2 OH लगे हुए हैं तो दोनों को प्रतिस्थापित कर देता है और सल्फ्यूरिल क्लोराइड बन जाता है। इसी प्रकार से PCl5 जो धातुएं होती हैं उनके साथ भी रिएक्शन करके उनके धातु क्लोराइड बनाता है। एग्जाम्पल के दृष्टिकोण से एक मैंने एग्जाम्पल लिया है कि सिल्वर प्लस PCl5, 2 सिल्वर यहाँ लेना होगा, 2 सिल्वर प्लस PCl5, 2 AgCl प्लस PCl3। अब यहीं पर हम आपको अल्कोहल, फिनॉल और एसिड्स, जैसे कि कल हमने रिएक्शन आपको PCl3 में बताया था उसको भी बता देते हैं। अल्कोहलिक ग्रुप है OH, तो PCl5 इससे रिएक्शन करके इसके OH को प्रतिस्थापित कर लें, OH की जगह Cl आ गया, प्लस फास्फोरिल क्लोराइड प्लस, अब आप देखिए 3 क्लोरीन एटम यहाँ यूज हो गया है, एक यहाँ यूज हो गया, एक बचा हुआ है, इस हाइड्रोजन के साथ में HCl बना देगा। इसी प्रकार से अगर हम एसिड को लेते हैं कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड C++O, सामान्य ढंग से इसको हम C+OH ऐसे भी डायरेक्ट भी लिख लेते हैं C+OH। PCl5 ठीक उसी तरीके से जैसे कि यहाँ OH को प्रतिस्थापित किया है, अब यहाँ OH की जगह Cl आ गया, ये एसिड हैलाइड बन गए और साथ में POCl3 प्लस HCl। इसी तरीके से अगर हम फिनॉल लेते हैं, फिनॉल, अब आप देखें फिनॉल में भी, इसमें भी बेंजीन रिंग से OH जुड़ा हुआ है, तो ठीक यही रिएक्शन यहां भी होगी। PCl5 क्या करेगा, OH को हटाकर Cl ले आएगा, शेष जो प्रोडक्ट बनेंगे वो फास्फोरिल क्लोराइड और HCl बनेगा। तो आपने देखा कि PCl3 की भांति ही PCl5 भी कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड, अल्कोहल और फिनॉल के ऊपर रिएक्शन करके उनके क्लोरीन डेरिवेटिव बनाता है। अब इसके उपयोग पे आते हैं। अभी आपको मैंने बताया अल्कोहल कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड फिनॉल्स के क्लोराइड बनाएगा, OH को Cl से प्रतिस्थापित कर देगा, OH की मात्रात्मक निर्धारण में इसका प्रयोग किया जाता है। अब PCl5 की संरचना पर आते हैं। इसमें फास्फोरस एटम sp3 संकरित होता है। ये सारी चीजें आप लोग 11th क्लास में भी पढ़ चुके हैं, वहां पर भी इसको आपको पढ़ाया गया था। इसकी जो आकृति होती है वो आप देखें त्रिकोणीय द्विपिरामिडी होती है। फास्फोरस के साथ 3 क्लोरीन परमाणु एक त्रिकोण में लगे होते हैं, एक ही तल में। अब उसके अतिरिक्त जो 2 क्लोरीन परमाणु है वो उसके तल के एक ऊपर की तरफ है, एक उसमें नीचे की तरफ है। मतलब त्रिकोण में 120 डिग्री का एंगल होगा और ऊपर और नीचे वाले बांट में 90 डिग्री का एंगल होगा। तो इस प्रकार से जो फास्फोरस के जो डेरिवेटिव हैं, उनके यौगिक हैं, उनका पार्ट समाप्त हो जाता है। अब हमारे इस पार्ट में 2 और टॉपिक बचे हुए हैं, जिसमें फास्फोरस के ऑक्सीयम, उनकी केवल संरचना ही हमको समझनी है, और नाइट्रोजन के ऑक्साइड्स, उनकी संरचना। तो सबसे पहले हम फास्फोरस के ऑक्सीयम लेते हैं। इसमें आप देखें ये संरचनाएं हमने कुछ बना रखी हैं। सबसे पहले आप देखें हाइपोफास्फोरस एसिड। हाइपोफास्फोरस एसिड में यहाँ पर देखें 2 हाइड्रोजन के ऊपर मैंने सर्किल लगा रखा है और इधर वर्गाकार हमने आकृति बना रखी है। इसको विभेद करने के लिए हमने किया है। देखिए जितने भी अम्ल हैं जो फास्फोरस से डायरेक्ट हाइड्रोजन जुड़े हुए हैं, अटैच हैं, वो अम्लीय प्रकृति के नहीं होंगे। जो ऑक्सीजन से जुड़े हुए हाइड्रोजन हैं वो अम्लीय प्रकरण प्रदर्शित करेंगे। देखिए यहाँ पर O से जुड़ा हुआ H केवल एक है, तो इसकी क्षारकता कितनी होगी? 1 होगी। दूसरी तरफ जो सर्किल में मैंने बना रखे हैं, ये दोनों हाइड्रोजन ये अपचायक को प्रदर्शित करेंगे। यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे, इसमें हमने राइट साइड में लिख रखा है, सर्किल वाला जो हाइड्रोजन है वो अपचायक की भांति कार्य करेगा। ये हाइड्रोजन जितने धातु लवण होते हैं उनको अपचयित करने के काम आता है। और जो वर्गाकार बॉक्स में जिसको OH को हमने बंद कर रखा है, वो हाइड्रोजन अम्लीय प्रकृति के होते हैं, उसी से उसकी क्षारकता पता चलती है। अब आप देखें ऑर्थोफॉस्फोरस एसिड, यहाँ पर आप नजर डालेंगे, एक हाइड्रोजन सर्किल में है, इसका मतलब ये अपचायक को प्रदर्शित करेगा। 2 OH यहाँ पर हमने वर्गाकार बॉक्स में बंद कर रखे हैं। OH का मतलब ये वाले दोनों हाइड्रोजन अम्ल की तरीके से व्यवहार करेंगे, इसका मतलब इसकी क्षारकता 2 हो गई। अब पायरोफॉस्फोरस एसिड, पायरोफॉस्फोरस एसिड, इस फास्फोरस एसिड के 2 अणुओं को गर्म करने से उसमें से एक वाटर मॉलिक्यूल बाहर निकल जाएगा, तब ये पायरोफॉस्फोरस एसिड बन जाता है। इसमें आप देखें बॉक्स में 2 OH हैं, यानी इसकी क्षारकता 2 है। 2 हाइड्रोजन अम्ल की तरीके से व्यवहार करेंगे, H+ की तरीके से निकलेंगे, और 2 हाइड्रोजन सर्किल में है, यानी ये दोनों हाइड्रोजन अपचायक की तरीके से व्यवहार करेंगे, जैसा कि मैंने वहां आपको पहले बता रखा है। अब इसके आगे हम आपको दूसरे जो ऑक्सी एसिड्स हैं उनकी संरचना हम आपको बताते हैं। अभी आपने फास्फोरस के कुछ ऑक्सी एसिड्स को देखा था, उनकी संरचनाएं देखी आपने, उसकी क्षारकता देखी। अब आप देखिए ऑर्थोफॉस्फोरिक एसिड, इस संरचना में आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर फास्फोरस से कोई जुड़ा हुआ डायरेक्ट हाइड्रोजन नहीं है, सारे OH जुड़े हुए हैं, इसका मतलब इसकी क्षारकता 3 हो गई। और इसमें अपचायक गुण नहीं होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर फास्फोरस से जुड़ा हुआ सीधा कोई हाइड्रोजन नहीं है। अगली संरचना पर आते हैं, मेटाफॉस्फोरिक एसिड HPO3, इसमें भी आप देखें इस फास्फोरस से डायरेक्ट कोई जुड़ा हुआ हाइड्रोजन नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये भी अपचायक गुण प्रदर्शित नहीं करेगा। इसके साथ ही साथ देखें, ये जो मेटाफॉस्फोरिक एसिड है, यहाँ पर उसके ये 3 अणु जुड़ करके एक ट्राइमर, ये साइक्लिक ट्राइमर बना लेते हैं। तो यहाँ देखेंगे साइक्लिक ट्राइमर में यहाँ 3 OH ग्रुप आपको नजर आएंगे, तो इसकी क्षारकता 3 हो जाएगी। इसी प्रकार से आप देखेंगे कि जो मेटाफॉस्फोरिक एसिड है ये श्रृंखला में भी जुड़ता हुआ चला जाता है, अर्थात बहुलक बना लेता है, तो इसको हम पॉली मेटाफॉस्फोरिक एसिड भी कहते हैं, और ये इस तरीके से श्रृंखला में जुड़ा हुआ होता है। जो फास्फोरिक एसिड है, अगर फास्फोरिक एसिड के 2 अणुओं को गर्म कर दिया जाए तो उसमें से एक वाटर मॉलिक्यूल निकल जाएगा। जब एक वाटर मॉलिक्यूल निकल जाएगा तब 2 यूनिट आपस में जुड़ गई। ये ऑक्सीजन से देखिए 2 यूनिट एक दूसरे के साथ में जुड़ी हुई है। अब चूंकि एक OH इधर से एक OH इधर से, दोनों आपस में H2O को त्याग देते हैं, एक ऑक्सीजन बचा हुआ है, तो अब OH की जो संख्या है, इस वाले फास्फोरस के साथ 2, इधर वाले फास्फोरस के साथ 2, इसका मतलब इस पायरोफॉस्फोरिक एसिड की क्षारकता 4 होगी। इसमें भी फास्फोरस से जुड़ा हुआ सीधा कोई हाइड्रोजन नहीं है, तो इसकी अपचायक प्रकृति नहीं होगी। अब इसके बाद में नाइट्रोजन के ऑक्साइड्स की संरचना पर नजर डालते हैं। इसकी भी सिर्फ हम लोगों को संरचना पढ़नी है और इसमें कोई डिटेल में नहीं पढ़ना है। तो नाइट्रोजन का जो ऑक्साइड्स हैं उसमें देखें, पहला देखिए N2O। N2O देखिए 2 नाइट्रोजन ट्रिपल बॉन्ड से जुड़े हुए हैं, जिसमें ऑक्सीजन को डोनेट कर एक रेखीय संरचना में है। NO नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड। यहाँ पर देखें गैसीय माध्यम में या नाइट्रोजन के ऊपर आप देखें एक अकेला इलेक्ट्रॉन आपको अलग दिखाया जा रहा है, ऑड इलेक्ट्रॉन। इसके कारण से इस अयुग्मित इलेक्ट्रॉन के कारण ये अनुचुंबकीय गुण प्रदर्शित करता है। लेकिन यह NO गैसीय अवस्था में तो रहता है, लेकिन इसका स्थायित्व नहीं होता है, इसलिए डायमर बना देता है। मतलब दो अणु एक साथ जुड़ जाते हैं। तो देखिए दो अणु जब जुड़ेंगे इस तरीके से आयताकार संरचना में जुड़े रहते हैं। अब यहाँ देखें जब ये दोनों आपस में जुड़ेंगे तब सिंगल सिंगल इलेक्ट्रॉन आपस में जब जुड़ गए डबल हो जाएंगे, तब ये प्रचुंबकीय हो जाएगा। इसी प्रकार से आप देखें NO2, यहाँ देखें नाइट्रोजन के पास एक अयुग्मित इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इसीलिए अयुग्मित इलेक्ट्रॉन के कारण ये भी डायमर के रूप में रहता है। दोनों आपस में जुड़ करके रहते हैं जिससे कि ये स्थायी हो जाए। सिंगल इलेक्ट्रॉन है तो इस अवस्था में ये अनुचुंबकीय होगा। ये देखिए इसमें कोण बना हुआ है, तो ये कोणीय संरचना इसकी है। जब ये दोनों दो अणु आपस में जुड़ जाएंगे तो एक साथ जुड़ जाने के कारण बिल्कुल ये समतल अवस्था में ऐसे आ जाते हैं, इसलिए समतलीय है। अब दोनों के अयुग्मित इलेक्ट्रॉन इसमें प्रयुक्त हो जाएंगे, इसलिए अनुचुंबकीय जगह पर ये अप्रचुंबकीय हो जाएगा। अंतिम संरचना ये N2O5 की है। इसमें आप देखें कि दो NO2 बीच में ऑक्सीजन के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, तो ये इसकी संरचना, ये भी संरचना इसकी समतलीय होती है। तो इस प्रकार से आपने इस नाइट्रोजन परिवार का आखिरी टॉपिक आपने देख लिया, जिनमें केवल संरचनाएं बननी थी, फास्फोरस के ऑक्सीयम और नाइट्रोजन के ऑक्साइड की संरचना। अब पी ब्लॉक के तत्वों में वर्ग नंबर 15 के समाप्त हो जाने के बाद अब हम लोग वर्ग नंबर 16 प्रारंभ करेंगे, जिसको हम लोग ऑक्सीजन परिवार भी कहते हैं। अब आप देखिए कि वर्ग नंबर 16 में ऑक्सीजन, सल्फर, सेलेनियम, टेलुरियम, पोलोनियम, लिवर्मोनियम, इतने इसमें तत्व उपस्थित होते हैं। जब हमने पी ब्लॉक के तत्वों का प्रारंभ किया था, आवास सारणी की स्थिति तभी आपको मैंने समझा दी थी। अब 16 नंबर में इतने तत्वों का सबसे पहले हम लोग उनका जो जनरल डिस्कशन है उसको देखते हैं। 16 के तत्वों को हम लोग कैल्कोजन भी कहते हैं। इसका कारण क्या है? इनमें ऐश बनाने वाले तत्व होते हैं। ऐश बनाने वाले तत्वों में हम लोग जानते हैं ऑक्सीजन और सल्फर, ये दो तत्व ऐसे हैं जो बहुत ज्यादा प्रकार के अयस्कों का निर्माण करते हैं। इसलिए चूंकि ये जो कॉपर के खनिज होते हैं उनके साथ इनकी उपस्थिति होती है, उसी से इसका नाम कैल्कोजन पड़ा है। अब इसकी उपस्थिति हम लोग देख लेते हैं। ऑक्सीजन इस प्रकृति में इस वर्ग के अंदर जितने भी तत्व होते हैं तुलनात्मक उसकी मात्रा सबसे ज्यादा होती है। वायुमंडल में गैसीय अवस्था में 21% लगभग होती है, और जो अर्धकृष्ट है, जमीन के अंदर जो विभिन्न प्रकार के खनिज पाए जाते हैं, यौगिक पाए जाते हैं, उनमें लगभग 46.6% इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन, इसकी हिस्सेदारी होती है। इसका मतलब हम कह सकते हैं कि जमीन के अंदर जो अर्धकृष्ट है उसमें ऑक्साइड, कार्बोनेट्स या दूसरे रूपों में बहुत ज्यादा अयस्क उपस्थित होते हैं। सल्फर की प्रतिशत बहुत कम है, लगभग 0.1% ही इनकी मात्रा होती है। वो भी जो खनिज होते हैं, अयस्क होते हैं, उस रूप में पाए जाते हैं। सेलेनियम और टेलुरियम ये बहुत ही सूक्ष्म मात्रा में उपस्थित हैं। वो भी जो धातु के अयस्क होते हैं उनमें केवल सूक्ष्म मात्रा में है, इसकी बहुत ज्यादा प्रचुरता नहीं होती है। पोलोनियम और लिवर्मोनियम ये दोनों ही तत्व रेडियो एक्टिव विघटन से बनते हैं, इसलिए प्रकृति में इनकी पाए जाने की कोई चांस नहीं है, कोई इनका प्रश्न नहीं उठता है। रेडियो एक्टिव विघटन से इनको प्राप्त करते हैं। अब इनके सामान्य गुणों के ऊपर हम आते हैं। तो सबसे पहले इसका सामान्य इलेक्ट्रॉनिक विन्यास देखते हैं। इनकी संयोजी कक्षा का सामान्य इलेक्ट्रॉनिक विन्यास NH2 होता है। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि इनके p कोष में 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन उपस्थित होंगे। अब इनकी हम भौतिक अवस्था पे नजर डालते हैं। जैसा हम लोग जानते हैं ऑक्सीजन गैस है, लेकिन इसके अलावा जितने भी तत्व हैं सल्फर से लेकर के पोलोनियम तक सारे ठोस अवस्था में उपस्थित होते हैं, पाए जाते हैं। अब इसमें धात्विक और अधात्विक गुण का हम परीक्षण करते हैं, उसकी जानकारी लेते हैं। देखिए ऑक्सीजन सल्फर ये दोनों अधातुएं हैं। सेलेनियम टेलोरियम में उपधातु का लक्षण पाया जाता है। वैसे टेलोरियम में धात्विक गुण की कुछ मात्रा अधिक होती है, लेकिन अधात्विक गुण भी होता है। पोलोनियम और लिवर्मोनियम ये दोनों रेडियोएक्टिव तत्व हैं, विक्रम से बने हैं और ये धात्विक गुण प्रदर्शित करते हैं। अब इनके हम लोग आणविक अवस्था पर नजर डालते हैं। ऑक्सीजन द्विआण्विक होता है, O2 के रूप में पाया जाता है। सल्फर सेलेनियम इनकी आणविक अवस्था S8 होती है, Se8 होती है। बाकी सभी की संरचना बहुत जटिल होती है, इसलिए उनको यहाँ पर हमने प्रदर्शित नहीं किया है। हमारी आवश्यकता O2 और S8 इन्हीं दोनों से होती है। अपने सिलेबस में जहां कहीं भी आवश्यकता पड़ेगी ऑक्सीजन और S8। अब इस 16 नंबर वर्ग के जो तत्व हैं उस पर आप परमाणु त्रिज्या से लेकर के उनके अन्य गुणों पर हम लोग नजर डालते हैं। सबसे पहले परमाणु त्रिज्या, आणविक त्रिज्या। पिछले भी वर्ग में हमने आपको इस फिगर के माध्यम से समझाया था, आज फिर इस फिगर को हमने यहाँ पर बनाया है। आप देखें ऊपर से नीचे की तरफ जैसे हम बढ़ते हैं एक एक करके इसमें कक्षाओं की संख्या, ऑर्बिट्स की संख्या बढ़ती है, तो इससे स्पष्ट नजर आ रहा है कि इसके आकार साइज बढ़ रहे हैं। इसका मतलब हम कह सकते हैं कि इसमें वर्ग में ऊपर से नीचे ऑक्सीजन से पोलोनियम तक हम जब जाएंगे तो परमाणु त्रिज्या, आणविक त्रिज्या बढ़ती है, क्योंकि इसमें एक एक करके कक्षाओं की संख्या बढ़ जाती है। अगला पॉइंट है आयनन एंथैल्पी। जैसे पिछले वर्ग में आपने देखा था कि वो नाइट्रोजन परिवार की आयनन एंथैल्पी बहुत ही उच्च थी, और यहाँ पर उसकी तुलनात्मक रूप से देखेंगे बहुत कम होती है। इसका कारण क्या है? वहां वो इलेक्ट्रॉन त्यागने का विरोध कर रहे थे, यहाँ देखिए इसका P4 विन्यास है, इसमें 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, न तो फुलफिल यानी पूरा भरा भी नहीं है, आधा भरा भी नहीं है, आधे से एक अधिक है, मतलब 4 है, 3 से 1 ज्यादा है। तो ये तत्व क्या करते हैं, अपना एक इलेक्ट्रॉन बड़ी आसानी से त्याग देते हैं, बहुत ही कम ऊर्जा में त्यागते हैं, क्योंकि त्यागने के बाद उनका विन्यास P3 हो जाता है। ये P3 कैसा है आप पहले जानते हो, हाफ फील्ड है, स्थायी है। तो ये ऑक्सीजन परिवार निम्न आयनन एंथैल्पी प्रदर्शित करता है, इसका मतलब बड़ी आसानी से इलेक्ट्रॉन को अपने से त्याग देगा। अब अगर इसकी वर्ग में आप देखेंगे ऊपर से नीचे जाएंगे तो ऑक्सीजन से लेकर के पोलोनियम तक इसकी आयनन एंथैल्पी का मान घटता जाएगा, क्योंकि जैसे जैसे आकार बढ़ेगा नाभिक से बाहरी इलेक्ट्रॉन दूर होता जाएगा, तो उसको नाभिक से आकर्षण कम होगा, आसानी से इलेक्ट्रॉन त्याग देगा। विद्युत ऋणात्मकता, इन सभी तत्वों की विद्युत ऋणात्मकता उच्च होती है, क्योंकि इनके साइज तुलनात्मक छोटे होते हैं। लेकिन आप देखेंगे ऊपर ऑक्सीजन है तो उसका साइज बहुत छोटा है, इसकी विद्युत ऋणात्मकता सबसे ज्यादा होगी, और जैसे ऊपर से नीचे 1 by 1 हम नीचे बढ़ेंगे उसका धीरे धीरे आकार बढ़ता जाएगा। तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, उसकी विद्युत ऋणात्मकता घटती जाएगी, छोटे आकार वाले की, छोटे साइज वाले की सबसे ज्यादा, ऑक्सीजन की सबसे ज्यादा होगी, और विद्युत ऋणात्मकता जो लास्ट में पोलोनियम सबसे नीचे होगा उसकी सबसे कम होगी। अब इसी से जुड़ता इलेक्ट्रॉन लब्ध एंथैल्पी। इलेक्ट्रॉन लब्ध क्या होती? इलेक्ट्रॉन बंधुता, मतलब जब कोई भी परमाणु अपने में एक अतिरिक्त इलेक्ट्रॉन को जोड़ता है, जोड़ने की प्रवृत्ति रखता है, क्षमता रखता है, इसको हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉन लब्ध एंथैल्पी कहते हैं। तो इसमें आप देखें चूंकि इनके अभी मैंने कहा इनके साइज छोटे हैं, छोटे साइज होने के कारण जो नाभिक होता है जैसे बाहरी इलेक्ट्रॉन उसके नजदीक आता है तो उसको आसानी से अपनी ओर आकर्षित कर देता है, इसलिए इनमें इलेक्ट्रॉन जोड़ने की प्रवृत्ति अधिक होती है, इसीलिए इनकी इलेक्ट्रॉन लब्ध एंथैल्पी अधिक होगी। अगर हम वर्ग में ऊपर से नीचे की तरफ जाएंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि इनकी ऊपर से नीचे जाने पर इलेक्ट्रॉन घनत्व घटेगी। अब हम धात्विक गुण पर भी चर्चा कर लेते हैं। अभी जैसे मैंने बताया था, विद्युत ऋणात्मकता ऊपर से नीचे जाने पर विद्युत ऋणात्मकता घटती है। जब विद्युत ऋणात्मकता घटेगी तब विद्युत धनात्मकता बढ़ेगी। इसका मतलब क्या होगा? ऊपर से नीचे जाने पर धात्विक गुण बढ़ता है। इसीलिए पहले मैंने बताया था, पहले वाले ऊपर वाले आधात होते हैं, जैसे जैसे आगे हम बढ़ते हैं उनमें धात्विक गुण बढ़ता है। इसी तरीके से ये भी हम कह सकते हैं कि चालकता की जब हम इसमें बात करेंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि चालकता ऊपर से नीचे की तरफ बढ़ती है। अब ऑक्सीजन परिवार के सामान्य गुणों में अगला पॉइंट अपरूपता। इस वर्ग के सभी तत्व अपरूपता प्रदर्शित करते हैं। संक्रांत का गुण, कैटिनेशन प्रॉपर्टी, मतलब श्रृंखला बनाने का लक्षण। जैसे कि हम लोग जानते हैं कि सबसे ज्यादा श्रृंखला बनाने की क्षमता कार्बन में होती है, लेकिन यहाँ आप पाएंगे इस ऑक्सीजन परिवार में भी श्रृंखलन करने की क्षमता है, लेकिन अधिकतम 8 तक। S8, Se8, टेलुरियम 8 अधिकतम 8 परमाणु में श्रृंखला बनाने की क्षमता रखते हैं। ऑक्सीकरण अवस्था, ऑक्सीकरण अवस्था -2 से लेकर के +2, +4, +6। इसमें फिर से एक बार हम इनर्ट इफेक्ट की तरफ पहुंच गए हैं। इससे पहले वाले भी नाइट्रोजन परिवार में आपको मैंने समझाया था। यहाँ पर देखें तो सर्किल में +4, +6 हमने इसमें लिख रखा है। इनर्ट इफेक्ट जो इसमें S और S कोष में इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर है, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन निकलने का विरोध करता है। इसीलिए जो इसकी लोअर ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट होती है +4, वो अधिक स्थायी है, और जो बड़ी वाली ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट होती है वो कम स्थायी है, यानी +4 अवस्था में अधिक स्थायित्व रहेगा। हाइड्राइड H2E टाइप के हाइड्राइड बनते हैं, वो सभी अम्लीय प्रकृति के होते हैं। इसमें सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात क्या है? ऑक्सीजन बनाएगा हाइड्रोजन H2O, ये द्रव अवस्था में होता है, बाकी सभी गैसीय अवस्था में होते हैं। जैसा आपको पता है 11 से आप जानते हैं H2O द्रव क्यों होता है? हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग के कारण, इसलिए ये द्रव अवस्था में, बाकी सभी गैस अवस्था में है। साथ ही साथ इसमें चूंकि हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग होती है, इसलिए इनके गलनांक क्वथनांक भी अन्य सभी हाइड्राइडों से उच्च होंगे। ऑक्साइड पे आप आइए। ऑक्साइड सभी EO2 डाइऑक्साइड और ट्राइऑक्साइड तरीके के बनेंगे, ये भी सभी अम्लीय प्रकृति के होते हैं। हैलाइड्स पर नजर डालें आप। ऑक्सीजन तो हैलाइड नहीं बनाता है, और अन्य सभी EX2, EX4, EX6 टाइप के हाइलाइट बनाते हैं। अब अंतिम इसका आज का पॉइंट हम देखते हैं, ऑक्सीजन का असामान्य व्यवहार। ठीक वही सारे पॉइंट आएंगे जो नाइट्रोजन के असामान्य व्यवहार में हमने आपको बताए थे। छोटा आकार, उच्च विद्युत ऋणात्मकता, उच्च आयनिक एंथैल्पी और d ऑर्बिटल की अनुपस्थिति। लेकिन यहाँ पर उनके हम गुणों को थोड़ा सा देख लेते हैं। आप देखिए, ऑक्सीजन द्विपरमाणुक है, लेकिन बाकी सभी जो तत्व होते हैं वो उनकी जो आणविक अवस्था होती है 8 होती है, S8, Se8, Te8। देखिए ऑक्सीजन गैसीय अवस्था में है, बाकी सभी सॉलिड स्टेट में होते हैं। ये 4 से ज्यादा संयुक्ता नहीं प्रदर्शित करता है, और बाकी सभी 4 से ज्यादा भी प्रदर्शित करते हैं। ऑक्सीजन अनुचुंबकीय है, ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट है। आपको 11th में बताया था मॉलिक्यूलर थ्योरी में, इसमें 2 एकध्रुवित इलेक्ट्रॉन उपस्थित होते हैं, तो अनुचुंबकीय है, बाकी अनुचुंबकीय नहीं होते हैं। और इसका हाइड्राइड अभी जिससे मैंने चर्चा की थी H2O, इसका गलनांक क्वथनांक उच्च होता है, ये द्रव अवस्था में पाया जाता है, बाकी सभी गैसीय अवस्था में पाए जाते हैं। तो ऑक्सीजन के असामान्य व्यवहार हैं। इस प्रकार से इसका जनरल इंट्रोडक्शन यहाँ पर पूरा हो जाता है। आप इस परिवार के जो यौगिकों का अध्ययन होगा तो अगले वाले लेक्चर से हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे।
Jai Hind students, I am Neetu Singh from Government High School Bhojla, Jhansi.
Welcome students in English online class. So students, I am teaching you second chapter of supplementary reader, The Judgment Seat of Vikramaditya, written by Sister Nivedita. And I have already taught you the first part of this chapter. And today I am going to teach you the second part and the last part. In the previous part, we have read
The name of King Vikramaditya is famous in Indian history. He was the king of Ujjain. After his death, his palaces were ruined. The people took their animals to graze at that place. Once a chair-like thing appeared there. A boy of the village sat on it and started playing justice. Now, what happened with that boy? Could he continue to give justice to the people of Ujjain? So, to find out all these answers, we read the lesson The Judgment Seat of Vikramaditya, written by Sister Nivedita. Paragraph 6. From then onwards, so famous did the cowherd become that all the complicated disputes were put before him, and always the same thing happened. The spirit of knowledge and justice would come to him, and he would show them the truth. But when he came down from his seat, he would be no different from the other boys. So, students, as we have read, the cowherd boy who declared himself a judge, became so famous that all the people from very far away places came to him. They brought their disputed matter and their problems before the cowherd boy, and after sitting on the mound, the spirit of knowledge and justice would come to him. So he settled disputes wisely and satisfied both the sides. But when he came down from his seat, he would be no different from the other boy. He also became as common as any other boy. Gradually, this news spread through the countryside. Grown-up men and women from all the villages would bring their disputes in the court of the cowherd boy, and always they received a judgment that both sides understood, and so went away satisfied. Gradually means slowly, this news spread. The news that the cowherd boy is giving perfect justice to the villagers. This news spread far and wide. Grown-up men and women from all the villages, they brought their cases, their disputed matters, their quarrels. They brought their all these cases before the cowherd boy, and he solved all the disputed cases very wisely and satisfied both the sides.
And here is the difficult word meaning of paragraph 6. Complicated, that is difficult to understand. Dispute, a disagreement or argument between two people, groups or countries. It may be between countries also. Spirit, a holy soul. Gradually, slowly and slowly. Countryside, far off areas. And grown up, physically or mentally adult.
Paragraph 7. Now, the king who lived far away from Ujjain heard this story. Well, he said, that boy must have definitely sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. The king's guess was correct, as the ruins about the meadow were once Vikramaditya's palace. So the king of Ujjain, who was ruling Ujjain at that time, he also heard about the cowherd boy and his court and about his judgment. He guessed that the place where the boy was delivering orders, not a grassland or nor a meadow, but it had been the palace of King Vikramaditya, and the boy, he must have sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. If just sitting on the mount brings wisdom and justice to the shepherd boy, he thought, let us dig deep and find the judgment seat. I too shall sit on it and hear all the cases. Then the spirit of Vikramaditya will descend upon me as well, and I shall always be a just king. So the king who was ruling at that time over Ujjain also heard about the cowherd boy, and he also wanted to give the perfect justice to his subject. So he also thought to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya, and he guessed that the boy must have sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. So he thought he would also sit on it and give perfect justice, and he would become a just king like Vikramaditya. So he decided to dig out the land to find out the judgment seat of Vikramaditya.
Now here is the difficult word meaning from para 7. Guess. To suppose. Meadow. Fields with grass. Wisdom. Intelligence. And descend. To come down or get down. And the opposite of descend is ascend.
Paragraph 8. So, with spades and shovels, the grassy knoll where the boys played was overturned. The boy, who had been the self-made judge, was sorrowful. He felt that something very dear to him was being taken away. So, with the help of digging tools, spades and shovels, with the help of these digging tools, the mound on which the cowherd boy used to sit was dug deep. The boy became very sad. He became very sorrowful. At last, the laborers came on something. They uncovered it and found a slab of black marble supported on the hands and wings of 25 stone angels. Surely it was judgment seat of Vikramaditya. With great rejoicing, it was brought to the city and placed in the hall of justice. The king ordered his people to observe 3 days prayer, fasting, and announced that on the 4th day he would ascend the throne publicly. At last, the laborers found out something, and when they removed the cover of it, they found a broad flat piece of black marble, and it was supported on the hands and wings of 25 stone angels, and surely it was the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Rejoicing with great delight, the seat was brought to the city and placed in the hall of justice. And the king ordered his people to keep fast, to observe 3 days prayer or fasting, to keep 3 days fast and to pray, so that after 3 days praying and fasting, he could sit on the throne publicly, mean before the crowd.
Is the difficult word meaning of paragraph 8. Spades and shovels, cutting and digging tools. Knoll, a small mound. Angels, messenger of God. Rejoicing, showing great happiness. Fasting, to eat nothing. Ascend, to go up. Throne, the seat of a king or royalty.
Paragraph 9. At last the great morning came, and the crowds mean the people of the place, the people of the Ujjain, they gathered to see the king take his seat. They wanted to see the king sitting on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Walking through the long hall came the judges and priests of the kingdom, followed by the king. The king came there with the priests and the judges of the kingdom. Then, as they reached the seat of judgment, they parted into 2 rows. The king walked up in the middle, bowed his head in reverence. He bowed his head in respect before the throne and bent straight to marble slab. When the king was about to sit on the throne, one of the angels began to speak. Stop, it said. Do you think that you are worthy to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya? Have you never desired to rule over kingdoms that were not your own? For a while, the king could not think of an answer. So, The day came when the king was about to sit on the throne publicly. So then one of the stone angel started speaking, and it stopped the king to sit on the throne and asked the king a question. If he thought himself worthy to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. And further, he asked one more question, that have you never desired, that he had never desired to rule over the kingdoms of other kings? The king said he was not worthy to sit on it. He could not think of an answer. He knew his life was unjust. After a long silence, he spoke, "No." He said, "I am not worthy." "Go, then, and fast and pray for 3 days," said the angel, "so that you may purify yourself and be worthy to sit on the throne." With these words, it spread its wings and flew away. So when the king was about to sit on the throne, the first angel, it stopped the king to sit on the throne and asked a question which the king had no answer, and the king said no, he was not worthy to sit on the judgment seat. Then the angel ordered the king to keep fast and pray for 3 days so that he could purify himself and be worthy to sit on the throne. And with these words, the angel flew away.
The difficult word meaning from para 9. Assembled, gathered, priest, a person who performs religious ceremonies in some religions. Parted, divided into parts. Reference, great respect. Worthy, good enough for something or to have something. Purified, to make something pure.
Paragraph 10. The king prepared himself with prayer and with fasting to come again and sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. But this time again the same thing happened. Another stone angel asked him if he had never desired to possess the riches of others. The king admitted that he had done so, and therefore he was not worthy to sit on the judgment seat. So the king prepared himself after keeping fast and praying. But this time happened the same as earlier. As he was about to sit on the throne, the second angel asked another question, and again the king was proved unworthy to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. In this way, whenever the king tried to occupy the throne, he was questioned by an angel and he had to withdraw. This went on till last angel was left supporting the marble slab. The king went near the throne with great confidence, for he felt sure of being allowed to take his place that day. So, in this way, whenever the king tried to sit on the throne, same thing happened. Every time an angel asked a question with the king, of which the king had no answer. Thus 24 angels flew away. Now there was only one angel who was supporting the marble slab. After keeping fast and praying, the king thought he had purified himself, and now the last angel would allow him to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya.
Difficult word meaning from para 10. Prepared, made ready, admitted, agreed that something unpleasant is true or that you have done something wrong. Occupy, to take up. Withdraw.
Paragraph 11. But as he came near the seat, the last angel spoke. Are you then perfectly pure in heart? O king, is your heart as pure as that of a little child? If so, you are indeed worthy to sit on his seat. No, said the king very slowly. No, I am not worthy. And at these words, the angel flew away into the sky, bearing the slab upon his head. The day came when there was only one angel. As soon as the king went near the throne, the last angel asked a very strange question to the king. He asked, "Do you have a heart pure like a child? If yes, you can sit on the throne." The king denied. And after listening this, the king denied very softly, very slowly that he was not worthy. And after listening these words, the angel flew up into the sky, bearing means taking the slab upon his head. Paragraph 11. Student, this is the last para. This was how the judgment seat of Vikramaditya disappeared from the earth forever. So students, this was a story about the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya disappeared from the earth forever because no other king was able to match Vikramaditya in the matter of justice and learning. So it disappeared from the earth forever. Students, now we'll read the question answer true, false and objective type questions from part 2nd.
Here is the word meaning of the last para 11. Indeed, in reality or in fact, or bearing, taking, along. Question number 7. What guess did the king of Ujjain make about the boy? The answer is, the king of Ujjain guessed about the boy that he must have sat on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya because he was doing perfect justice. Question number 8. What did the king of Ujjain decide to do? Answer is, the king of Ujjain decided to dig out the judgment seat and bring it to Ujjain. Then he would sit on it and give perfect justice. Question number 9. What did the first angel ask the king when he was about to sit on the throne? Answer is, when the king was about to sit on the throne, the first angel stopped him to sit and asked if he had never desired to rule over the kingdoms that were not his own, and if he thought himself worthy to sit on the throne. Question number 10. What did the last angel ask to the king? What was the king's reply? And the answer is, the last angel asked the king if his heart as pure as that of a little child. The king replied in the negative. Students, I have already told you that 4 marks true or false are asked in your exam, and here are true and false related with the lesson the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. The first one is, the first angel asked the king of Ujjain if he was worthy to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. Yes, it is right. So it is a true statement that the first angel asked the king of Ujjain. Number 2, the judgment seat of Vikramaditya did not disappear from the earth. False, because the judgment seat of Vikramaditya disappeared from the earth. Number 3, the angel flew up into the sky, bearing the slab upon his head. Yes, it is true that the last angel flew up into the sky, bearing the slab upon his head. Number 4, the king of Ujjain at last sat on the throne of Vikramaditya. False, because he could not sit on the seat of Vikramaditya. Number 5. The last angel allowed the king of Ujjain to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya. No. False. Because the last angel did not allow the king to sit. Number 6. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was a slab of white marble. False. Because it was a slab of black marble, not a white marble. Number 7. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was supported on the hands and wings of 25 stone angels. Yes, it is right. So this is a true. Select the most suitable alternative to complete each of the following statements.
So students, now we are going to solve alternative questions. You may call them multiple choice type questions or objective type questions also. Here are 4 options for every question and you have to choose any one from them. And the first one is, the laborers dug out a block of marble slab supported on the hands and wings of stone angels numbers. We have to find out the right number of the stone angels. A dozen. Doesn't mean 12. No. 20. No. 25. Yes. The right answer is 25. There were 25 stone angels. Number 2. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was made of. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was made of, you know it very well. Gold? No. Made of silver? No. Made of iron? No. Made of stone? Yes. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was made of stone. So you have to write the right answer in fill in the blanks. Number 3. The king of Ujjain could not occupy the throne because. Number A. He was not as just as Vikramaditya. B. His heart was not as pure as that of a little child. And C. He had desire to possess the riches of other. So students, you read that the king of Ujjain, he could not sit on the throne because the last angel wished his heart should be as pure as that of a little child, but he had not. So the most appropriate answer is B. His heart was not as pure as that of a little child. Number 4. The angel asked the king to go and fast, pray for 3 days. So that what? So that somebody else could try to ascend the throne? No. No one might occupy it? No. The king might purify himself and be worthy to sit on the throne. Yes. C is the right answer. The king might purify himself and be worthy to sit on the throne.
Number 5. The last angel did not allow the king to sit on the judgment seat of Vikramaditya because A. The king had not completed his prayer. B. The angel was not in a good mood. C. The king had come before the right time. And D. The king's heart was not pure as that of a little child. So the last angel did not allow the king because the king's heart was not pure as that of a little child. So the answer is D. Number 6. When the mound was dug deep, the king found. The king found what? First one is A. 7 jars full of gold coins. B. Skeletons of dead soldiers. C. Rare musical instruments. And D. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya. So what the king found? The king found the judgment seat of Vikramaditya when the mound was dug deep.
Number 7 is, the judgment seat of Vikramaditya was found. Where? In the jungle? No. In the river? No. Deep under the mound? Yes. Deep under the mound. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was found deep under the mound. Number 8 is, the angel took the judgment seat to Where? In the sky? Maybe. Another kingdom? No. The sea? No. The hell? No, not at all. Then the most appropriate answer is A. The angel took the judgment seat to the sky. So you have to write the right answer here in the fill in the blanks.
Number 9. The judgment seat of Vikramaditya was found in A. Indore, B. Delhi, C. Ujjain or D. Bhopal. So the judgment seat of Vikramaditya was found in Ujjain and you have to write the answer here. Number 10. At last, the laborers found a slab of black marble. Remember the color of the marble? Black marble supported on the hands and wings of 35 stone angels, 25 stone angels, 21 stone angels or 27 stone angels. And now you know the answer very well, that the answer is B, 25 stone angels.
Students, here is homework for you and you have to find out which one statement is true and which one statement is false. So try to find out the true or false statements. And write down all these questions on your notebook so that you can understand them easily.
Students, now I have taught you the chapter, the question answer, true false and the objective type questions. Now it is time to say you goodbye. But before bidding you goodbye, I want to share a saying with you that the future depends on what you do today. So students, Jai Hind by my side. Thank you very much. Stay happy, stay healthy.
ये लखनऊ की सरजमी, ये लखनऊ की सरजमी, ये रंग रूप का चमन, ये हुस्न इश्क का वतन, यही तो वो मकाम है जहाँ